Right, how are y'all? I'm on the road, so we're doing an impromptu. As you can see, this is not the regular streaming situation, but somebody let me know if you can hear me all right. While I grab the complimentary beer. These are really bright, eh? Okay. Yeah, all right, cool. Sweet. So how are you guys? I know I wasn't here last week. I was working again. Cheers. Tink, everybody. Um, Sweet. Yep, currently on a last minute strike mission up to Northern California. Went to Tahoe, and now I'm at Mammoth, catching these storms that are coming through on the West Coast. Scored some epic snow the last couple of days. I drove down from Tahoe today, and now I'm gonna set up shop here for a couple of days and pillage this next storm system that's coming through. Um, that's coming through. That I'm gonna just get some more snow. So anyway, what's up with all you guys? Anything new? Anybody get a job? Anybody got any horror stories or funny interaction stories with bartenders? I do have an email from somebody that I wanted to, that Shake grabbed for me that I'm going to answer for. This little lady, her handle is Bombshell on Wheels. I believe her actual name is Heather McCallum. So Heather, hopefully you don't mind me calling out your real name from your handle. Yeah, Knick Knack, Stokey made it. Who we got? Who's all here? Roxy Red? Roxy, is that, you're not the, no, okay, different, somebody else. Gaming Noob. No, not in my usual place. I'm in my buddy's cabin up in Mammoth. Luan Word, Knick Knack, Gaming Noob, Kevin, Taylor, Miss Richardson in the house. Sweet. Right on. Stoked you guys could all make it. Stoked I was able to put together a little something here, right? A little video for y'all. So let you know I'm not dead. And we're still rolling. Committed to the cause every week, right? Trying to. Okay, cool. So, what's up, Yermi? Bastion Close. LOL, Adventurer. Heart, heart. Cheers. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm trying to get my windows all set up so I can see you guys. I have do a little bit of a different setup than usual, obviously, here. So, pardon me while I'm messing around with this stuff. Okay. And I know the light's really weird because it's kind of dark in this room. Maybe I should be, I know that light looks really bright, but when I'm standing in front of it, it's actually not very bright. And I don't really have any other lights in here, so we'll just, actually, you know what? Hold on, I'll be right back. Try something. This might be too intense. Oh yeah, that's way too intense. I was gonna try to point a flashlight on myself. All right, never mind. We're not gonna do that. So, traveling to Tahoe was pretty sketchy when I drove up there, but my truck's, I have a little 4x Toyota Tacoma and it charges. One of the older first gens. Things are beast. Headed to Portland Thursday. Nervous for the weather. If you're on the valley side of the of Oregon. It's not icy down there really, unless it gets really cold, which it's supposed to get cold Friday, so you'll be fine, I think. The worst thing is just the traffic, which is gonna suck. Traffic's what you gotta worry about, not the weather. Cool. All right, so let me jump into this question from Bombshell on Wheels, and her name is actual name is Heather McCallum. So anyway, she asked, been watching your videos for a week straight trying to fix this brain block. That's right. I've been driving today and might have had another one of these before, so if I'm a little out of it, then pardon me. I took 2 years off and I'm about to go back to the bar, and I'm freaking out like I've never worked before. Help. So common. Let's see if I can turn this around and give her a shout out. What's up, Joe? Yeah, buddy. So where is she? There we go. So there's Bombshell on Wheels, giving you a shout out, girl. That's her question. Okay. So you've already. I'm gonna just answer this as if she's watching. So if she does watch this, it'll be directed. She can get it. You've already been working, so you're gonna get this back in like an hour. You'll be fine. But it's funny because you guys that are brand new, you have the same concerns. It goes to show how much society brainwashes you guys that you have to know all these drinks and stuff. It's like she's already done this and she's coming back, and the only thing she's worried about is the drinks, which is like basically the last thing she really needs to worry about. Unless it's like a really strict, very particular craft place, but sorry, blowing animal fur around. There's no way it would be that way. I mean, hopefully if that's the case, they have like you've like looked at the menu and you've had time to kind of practice that. But Noelle, what's up, Miss Smith? I just got started answering the first question, girl, so you haven't missed anything yet. This girl sent me a question about she's going back to work as a bartender after being gone for 2 years. And she's worried about all the drinks. And again, it doesn't matter. It'll be like riding a bike. You know. So I think you'll be okay, Heather, if you're watching this or when you watch this. And then there's always the fake it till you make it. You know, smile and you'll look like you know what you're doing and you'll be good. And smile and act like you think you know what you're doing and you'll be good, even if you don't. What's up, Anurag Raseli? Sorry, you guys, if I butcher your names. I am terrible with some of your guys' names. Stupid white boy from America, can't pronounce names. I try. All right. Gaming noob, Jason, under the assumption we kind of do care a bit about the quality of the bar and not just trying to land any job, what do you think are telltale signs of a bad place or a bad job? Thanks. That's a good question, noob. I always think it comes back to like that more than the establishment, it's identifying the type of place that you want to work at. And if you can figure that piece out, what it will do is kind of cut places out that don't fit that. So by identifying where you really want to go, you'll also at the same time identify where you don't want to go. So if you have the ability to have some experience or connections or opportunities to work at places that are close to what you want, then you'll be stoked. But at the same time, if this is your first gig and you don't have any experience and they're offering you a job, even if it is kind of a bad place or bad job, take it so you can have an experience, but just don't stop looking for another job. Because now you have experience that you can put on your resume that you can point to, and sure, you might have just started, but it's experience. It says that somebody else was willing to give you a shot, so that gives you credibility even if you just started on that shot. But other than that, you can do stuff like talk to the employees, really. I mean, just go in there, sort of start to get to know a couple of the employees, like start to become a local. Don't become a drunk there. Don't be the sauce hound. Don't go in and drink yourself into the ground every day. But if they have food, go in and try to get some food. Order, just try to start to create some relationships. And then once you kind of get to that point, um, they will um, get to know you. And sorry, I'm reading questions, so that's why I'm trailing off in my answer. So, damn it, lost my train of thought now. Basically, if you identify where you want to go, then you'll be good. And oh, I know what I was saying. When you get to know the employees, you can kind of start to ask them. So like, hey, how is this place? I do that anyway. You should do that anyway. Like if you're on the way into a job interview, it's cool to start talking to people. And I talk about it in the Getting the Job video series. When you're going in for an interview, start talking to the people that work there. Start talking to the locals if it's conducive and it's not awkward. Like, hey, how is this place? What do you like? If it's obviously no one's going to really talk shit about a place as you're going into a job interview, but you can probably gauge their body language. Like if you ask them, they're like, it's cool, it's cool. If they kind of give you one of those answers, or if it's like, dude, this place is so rad, then you can tell, right? That's a big difference, like between, it's a cool place to work, and blah blah. They're kind of like, yeah, or if they're like, this is the raddest job I've ever had that you'll ever have, then you can kind of read it from that. Pardon me, chapped lips. I was getting worked in the sun yesterday, and so if every so often I'm gonna have to stop for a little chapstick break. So anyway, I think really gaming you, the best thing is to figure out where you want to work, the types of places you want to work, and then avoid and cut out the other types, and that should go a real long way to getting you to that stuff. You can kind of look, you can try to go in enough to try to get an idea of the type of business that they have on a regular basis, like if it's problematic in terms of if they have chronic terrible service. I'm tentative to say go on Yelp, because it's only the complainers that go on there, so you always get an extremely unrealistic view of what is actually happening at any place. But you can do that to get an idea and just try to do research about the place. But it's really just a personal call, because what I might hate, you might love, or something that I might love, you might hate. So it's there is no kind of magic bullet answer to that one, unfortunately. So the more you go inside and figure out what you want, the better off it'll be. All right, I got a couple questions coming here. Khaled, is it Khalid? Jaber? I'll say Khalid. Khalid. Khalid? We'll call it Khalid. Hello, sir. I'm trying to be a bartender and working as a waiter in a restaurant. So what is your advice for me? Thanks. Make sure you go watch those Getting the Job mini-series, Khalid. I got a whole, in my playlist. Go to my playlist on my channel. Watch the Getting the Job playlist, and it'll give you a good starting point. You're already in an establishment, so for you, if they have a bar, the best thing you could do is to go talk to your owners and your managers and tell them that you want to be a bartender, and then ask them what you need to do to become a bartender, and then start doing that. So other than that, you're going to have to start in another place, in another position, and work your way up. That's the easiest way to do it, is to start from like where you're at as a different position, and then just move up, right? Climb the ranks. Understand the job as it fits into the business. All the stuff that I talk about in that miniseries. Go watch that Getting the Job miniseries. It'll add, there's, I think each of those videos is almost 20 minutes or over, like right around 20 minutes. There's 4 of them, so there should be over an hour worth of stuff to go watch. Did I miss another question up here? think I got it. Okay, cool. Callie. Navarre Kurtz. Hey Jay, I'm a volunteer firefighter in New York, and for parties we only use solo cups. Any ideas for sprucing up solo cup drink cocktail? Yeah, fancy garnishes. So there's that. Yeah, you're welcome, Khalid. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. The getting started in 48-hour video, how to become a bartender in 48 hours. Chris. Oh wait, no. Navarre. Sorry if I'm again murdering names. I have that video that talks about how to do kind of funky stuff, and in the context of the video, it's designed to get you more private parties, but it does the same thing. It's something unique and different, and you can just kind of come up with funky garnishes. It's a little more work on the front end. When you get there, you got to kind of prep more stuff, but if you're trying to, I mean, that's kind of the only sexy thing you can do for a solo cup. Unless you're artistic, you can draw funky stuff, but that's not realistic. Maybe you can get some stickers, just some like basic stickers made that are funny or funky or has your logo or something, and then you can stick them on all the cups. So just to try to make it not look like a generic blue or red solo cup. Did you know, by the way, any of our foreign watchers might be able to corroborate this, that a lot of cultures outside of the U.S., they do American parties or U.S. parties where they're basically just, you know, dressing up and enacting cliche American cliches. Well said, buddy. Stereotypical American cliches. And whenever they're partying, they always have those red party cups because that's a very American thing at parties, I guess. So I've heard. So anyway, fun facts for you. Mr. Christopher Nile. Hello there, buddy. Recently picked up a job at a roughish nightclub. Any tips to cutting someone off in that context? I've never worked with bouncers before. Do you have bouncers or not? Because if you have bouncers, the easiest thing to do, especially if it's roughish and it's just kind of a party hole, if anybody's getting out of control, then you can just freaking sick the bouncers on them. You know, like wave them over like, hey, get this guy or girl out of here. And then you don't even have to tell them why, right? Because you probably told them before, like, take it easy or you're out of here. You have the benefit, you definitely don't have to be as tactile. Take it easy or you're out of here one time, and then if they don't knock it off, then grab the bouncer and have the bouncer throw them out, or maybe a manager. If you have to do it yourself, then you need to make sure you don't get in trouble. You got to be careful because you don't want to get fucking in a fight, or you know, it's a lot of legal stuff that generally places don't have bartenders touch anybody. That's why they'll have bouncers specifically for that, and they have different agreements and different employment contracts, and so it's a whole different set of liability stuff depending on the state and the bar. Remember, that's always the caveat with any of my stuff that I talk about. Depends on where you work. But I try to see it coming down the pipe at me with anybody I got to cut off in any situation. You got to try to see it coming, and you can usually see it coming. He's like, this guy's fucked up. Gonna have to take this guy. You know, gonna have to cut him off. And you try to soften the blow, so that, like, if they're so trash that you can't even give them one, then give them a water and say, like, sorry man, that's all I can give you. And if they keep hounding you, then tell them they got to beat it. If you're serving them and you can see that you're gonna need to stop, then on the one before that you're going to cut them off, my thing is like, hey man, I got to slow your roll. This is the last one I can give you for a while. And they don't ever talk back. You know, I've never gotten a whole lot of flack about it. Sometimes they're like, you know, why? Or very, 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 very rare. Most of the time people know, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. And they'll drink that one, and then after that you can give them water, and it's usually not an issue. So try to see it coming and try to tell them on the drink before you're going to cut them off, because then they know it's coming. right? And that's the easiest thing I've found. Also, so Chris, adding on to his question, do you have any tips for making drinks for old people? I know younger guys like shots, but are there any important drinks to know for old people? Just some of the classics. Um, but at the same time, they usually just, yeah, exactly. TD girls, mom, whiskeys. A lot of older drinkers tend to get real simple. They'll either have a beer, they'll have a wine, or they'll have like whiskey or scotch on the rocks. They're not drinking all the crazy whiz bang shit. That's all the young people. So, know a couple classics that you should know. Know how to make a good martini. Know how to make an old fashioned. Know how to make a Manhattan. That one's not even that popular, but you might, get the list that people always ask. What's the top 10 most common drinks? And I have so many people ask that I have a little list already on here somewhere. I can tell you the most common drinks that you should know. And if you know these, young, old, or otherwise, should help you pretty well. So Martini Manhattans, know the Collins family, which is basically just like a sour, like a lemon lime, and a sweetener. I haven't been bartending, so my brain is not in this world. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm a little bit off tonight. Simple syrup, and then a soda water. So any of the Collins family drinks. Long Island's, but that's not even really going to have those. Margaritas, Cosmopolitan, Old Fashioned, Bloody Mary, Manhattan, Martini, Moscow Mules. You're not going to really need those. But that's basically a list that will get you through almost any bar. So, yeah, the good thing, Chris, with older people is that it tends to get real simple. They don't drink a bunch of crazy shit. They're just straight to the good or basic stuff. Drinks home. Hey mate, big fan. How you feeling? I'm good. I'm tired. I'm on the road. I'm on a week-long road trip chasing snow on the west coast of the U.S. I was up in Lake Tahoe, and now I just got to Mammoth this afternoon. So I'm stoked because it's supposed to start snowing again tonight, and then huge dump coming Wednesday, Thursday. So it's looking like gonna be an epic pow day on Friday before all the millions of people from LA get here on the weekend. If you ever come to California and ride the big resorts at the big areas, don't go on the weekends. Only go on the weekend. Because there's so many fucking people on the weekends. It's insane, especially if it's like a sunny pow day like it's going to be this weekend. Crazy, man. So, yeah, Chris, you're welcome, buddy. You hear me? Munyans Tones. I love fucking up your guys' names. It makes me feel so smart. You hear me? Bro, how much a bartender with experience is supposed to get per hour? I don't know if you're stateside, but in the U.S., it depends. It's even within the U.S., it's different from state to state. But usually what we get is minimum wage, which depends on the state, plus tips. And your tips will depend on how much you sell. So the more you sell, the more you make. And that could be drinks, that could be food, that could be whatever you sell. So the more you sell, the more you make. And generally you get minimum wage. So the owners of the establishment will pay you the least amount. There is no salary. So that's in the U.S. anyway. So outside of the U.S., I can't speak to that, so I don't know. But you should be able to do research if you are outside of the U.S. to find out what bartenders normally make, and know that you're gonna have to start on the low end of the spectrum and then work up from there. All right, cool. Let's see here. Long Island iced tea. Yep, definitely a must know. Maybe Long Island. Didn't I say Long Islands? Yeah, Long Island iced tea. All right, Noel. Haven't had scotch yet. Miss Noel Smith. How would you describe its taste? Scotch is like a leather boot to me. which is derogatory to someone who doesn't appreciate Scotch. I will say that is because my palate is not experienced enough to appreciate good Scotch. But it's the peat, the like peat moss gives it this like kind of earthy flavor that for me, it's the same with mezcal, has that same kind of flavor that to me it almost tastes like leathery. But my father-in-law is a big Scotch drinker, and he's got some really nice Scotch. I think I've told you guys that. Like Christmas, he'll pull out 25-year-old Scotch, 50-year-old Scotch, like crazy expensive shit. So I've had, even though I don't like Scotch, I've had some of that stuff, and that's good. I can tell. Even someone who's not a Scotch drinker, if you drink something and it's smooth, then you know, like, and you're not a connoisseur of that alcohol, then you know, like, that's good shit. So, yeah, there you go, Noel. Leather boot. That's Scotch for you. For me, anyway. Whiskey sour. Carisia Cortez is throwing out the whiskey sour for you, Chris, for the drink list. Yeah, sours. Yeah, it's kind of on the Collins, sours, Rickies. They're all real freaking close, and either you add, you know, the sweetener or the soda water, you don't. They're all either lime or lemon juice, soda water or not, and sweetener or not, like simple syrup. So, what's up, dude? Love your videos. Thank you. D Girls Man worked at the VFW. They love the Collins family drinks. Yeah, there you go. See? TD Girl's mom, she knows what's up. She worked with in a mature crowd, we'll say. Hey? Right. I want to be a bartender in San Diego, but seems to be competitive. Any advice? Yeah, same as what I always tell anybody. You got to just move up. You got to start in another position, do your time, and move up. It's the best way. That's how we all get started, unless you're just really lucky, or you're like a smoking hot chick who sells it and gets in there. Which I don't know, maybe you are, could be. But generally, you have to start in another position and move up, and that could be anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Just get your foot in the door, start working there, and then move up. And don't be picky about it. Don't be picky about the establishment. Just get in, get advice, get in, get experience, and then either move up or keep that experience and use that to get into another place. All right, with regard to the Cosmo, are there any way to garnish it without lighting up an orange? That's the, like, true snazzy way to do it, but garnish with a lemon twist or a lime would work too. So garnishes are one of those things that are really strict in like craft if you want to be really strict about it, but we garnish ours with a lemon twist, or you can do it a lime even. So it's not too big of a deal. So cinch fingers are a nightmare scenario. Play piano. That's right, man. Good on you. I really wish I would have continued on with musical instruments when I was a young lad, but I just wasn't into it. I just decided to go play outside, go skate, ride snowboards and stuff instead. Drinks home. Sounds beautiful out there. Enjoy. Thank you, sir. Gaming noob. Choose lemon lime. Wheel twist. Yeah, perfect. Exactly. Yermi, you're welcome. Moscow Mules. What's your favorite vodka for it? It just depends. Like if you're trying to go fancy or not. I was talking about last week, or no, I guess it was 2 weeks ago because I had to work last week. That I read this article on, I don't even remember where it was, Washington Post or something like that. Not sure. But oh no, I heard it was on the radio. It was a radio piece, and these guys were talking about, they were doing research for a vodka company, like just I don't know how they got there, but basically there's only a handful of vodka manufacturers in the world that every brand comes out of. Same thing with tequila. There's like 9 tequila distillers in the world, or like in Mexico they're like real tequila, and there's like 900 labels. 9 distillers make all 900 of those labels. So a lot of the difference between, and this happens a lot with different alcohols, a lot of it comes down to just marketing. So as long as it's not really super cheap charcoal filtered, but even then, what they talked about on the radio show is that they took these like super cheap generic just white label that you can put your own branding and marketing on and make it your own. And then they bought Grey Goose off the shelf, and then they like did they home distill? Or maybe it was just like the generic white label that this company was selling, Grey Goose, and then like they went to a grocery store and just bought the cheapest shit vodka they could find, and they sent them to a lab to get tested for like quality and flavor and all this stuff. And basically what it said is like they were basically all like so minute difference that you wouldn't be able to tell. So vodka, because it's such a light distilled alcohol anyway, with the way that it's made, there's not a whole lot to it, so you can't, you know. So basically, to answer your question, it just prefers whatever you want to spend. I prefer like a Tito's, which is decent, not too expensive. So let's say there you go. I answered Tito's. Do not get paid by Tito's. So any Tito's reps out there, you want to put me on the payroll? Thank you. Dude, sorry, just checking. All right, Eric Strasser, any tips for things to put on a resume when you have no experience in bartending? Yeah, Eric, go watch that. How to get started actually go to my website, bartendingblueprint.com/enter. Enter your name and email in there, and you'll get sent automatically a little intro. It's about my website, which is more like formal. It kind of takes all the stuff on this channel and like packages it together, which you may or may not be interested in. But part of my teaser to check it out is you get custom resume templates, and there's an old video that I shot a long time ago, but it's still relevant stuff that shows you how to fill out that resume. And basically just make it real simple, and then you just highlight some basic stuff on there, and you make it visually attractive and not like a traditional resume, because if you make it with a traditional resume and you don't have anything on there, it just looks really thin. So it's a way to use these pretty custom templates that I had made for me a long time ago, that still work great. So go check out, let me type it up here. Go to https://bartendingblueprint.com/enter. Yeah, so there you go. Hit that link. And that should take you to, I'm just clicking on it to see. Sorry, what? That doesn't, what do you mean that doesn't exist? That's not good. Oh, it put some weird shit on the end of it. That's weird. So when you do that, for some reason, it'll put some, so just copy and paste that link, because for whatever reason, when you link out of YouTube, why does it do that? That's really weird. bartendingblueprint.com/enter, and then put your name and email in there, and it'll give you a bunch of stuff. Tito's is about 40 pounds. All right. Okay, so I think we're back. Sorry, I think the internet was just lagging there for a minute. Tito's outside of the U.S. could be very expensive. Here in the U.S. drinks home, it's not too much. 40 sterling pound, huh? That's crazy. So yeah, basically the moral of the story, drinks home, is it doesn't matter. Just vodka is fucking vodka. It's all marketing is the only difference, really. So same thing, right? Were you asking about that? Yeah, vodka. Doesn't matter. Whatever your wallet is most comfortable with. Okay. Oh shit, I just got a big flood of questions. Yeah. Okay, sorry, my internet's acting all wacky, so if you guys got questions up that I haven't gotten to, hang tight. I will get to them. Let's see here. Where are we at? Any tips for putting resume? Yep, got Eric. So go check out that site, Eric Strasser. Tipping is so alien in the UK, it's not necessary so people don't do it, but it's more of a nice bonus. Yeah. I can't speak to the scene in Europe or the laws or the norms. Most of my stuff is US based only. But in terms of like understanding your role in a business and the customer service part of it, that's universal, right? Polar Bear. Hi, Jason. Looking to invest, possibly bar, lounge, restaurant, bar, nightclub, establishment. With your experience, which type of setting would you get involved in? Why or why not? Um, I know, I know the bar scene, and for food, I know Mexican food really well. And if you wanted to come recruit me to be part of your team, then look in Bend, Oregon, because that's where I would move. And in San Diego, where I'm already at, because I'm trying to look to get out of here, we'd have to have a conversation about setting something like that around here. But if you really want to entice me, look in Bend, Oregon, find a good spot. There are some Mexican foods, but they're not exactly what I would come up with. But anyway, thank you. Appreciate that nod, Polar Bear. But at the same time, I could consult on any sort of. I wouldn't be the most valuable with fine dining, but almost any sort of bar, club. Roku Ishisada? Did I say that right? Ichisada? Making sure before I go down, I get too far, don't miss any questions for you guys. Okay, so Roku started to learn drink recipes at a bartending school. I have to say it's quite a bit to remember, but it's fun. Looking forward to getting out there and working. Yeah, and remember, Roku, that you're not even going to need most of those. That list that I just listed off earlier, Martinis, Manhattan, Collins / Sour / Ricky's, Long Island iced teas, margaritas, a couple classics like the Martinis, Manhattans, Old Fashions, Cosmopolitans, White Russian, Black Russian, Moscow Mule, Bloody Mary, Mojito, some basic beer and wine knowledge. That's basically all you're going to need to know. And then if you go work at a place that has a bunch of crazy drinks on their menu, you'll get an opportunity to learn that menu, hopefully, if they're smart. They'll at least give it to you to look at, a day or two ahead of will be on your menu. So you'll have them hopefully right there on the wall or something next to you, or make a cheat sheet or whatever. Chris, do you have a wacky signature drink? I don't really have like a wacky signature drink. I have a margarita that's won awards like at cocktail competitions, but I never really was like. I've always, this job has always been like a lifestyle thing in terms of like doing this, like be able to leave for a week to go chase storms and snow, right? Because I've worked my way into being in a management position, and I make my own schedule basically within reason, within a certain parameters. And like I said, me and my wife travel almost 3 months a year when you add it all up. If you put it all together, we travel almost 3 months out of the year. There's not many jobs that you can do that. So my point is that I like being a people person, being social and stuff, and that part I have a lot of fun with. So I don't really nerd out on like coming up with drinks and mixology is not my thing. Customer retention and experience is my thing. So it's not super exciting, but probably a margarita, really, which isn't really wacky. So sorry, buddy. Okay, heard of old fashioned getting better when are done in a glass than a mixing glass. Is that right, Andrea Stern? People have a million different ideas about how an old fashioned and almost any kind of long classic drink that it must or should, or if it's not done this way, then it's not an actual blah blah blah. I think as long as the customer likes it, that's the ultimate, is what they want, because you're making it for them. So in the getting better when they're built in the glass and then mixing, are you talking about like building it into the glass versus like building it into the mixing tin and then pouring it in? It depends. I mean, if you have people that don't want it mixed up a bunch because that melts the ice more, so it can dilute it more, then I could see why that maybe that would be the situation in that case. But in terms of the flavor being, it's not gonna be a whole lot different other than that ice melt factor. So talk to your customer. I don't think there is a right or wrong or better way to make almost any drink, really. As long as it's what your customer is expecting, then that's the best drink, right? Cool. All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Yeah, exactly. Drinks home. Vodka is ethanol with a pretty label. Yep. You got it, my man. Also, I prefer the American system of tipping. It just seems more useful. Yeah, tipping's great. I mean, if you're in a good gig at a good bar that does good volume, it's a great job. You know, it's a journeyman job. So until they come up with robot bartenders, which might happen someday. Have you ever seen that crazy movie? I forget where they're like on. It's a sci-fi movie. My wife likes those, and we watched. What's that hot blonde chick? And I'm so like out of it because I've been driving all day. But Scarlett Johansson, I think, and they're on this like mission out to space, and they wake up early, like 40 years before they're supposed to. Like her and this other guy, or this guy wakes up, and then he wakes up this chick, so he's not alone. Anyway, there's a bartender in that movie, and he's a robot, but he seems real, right? Because this is like in the future, and it's, you know, AI and all that kind of shit's way more advanced. So yes, there you go, Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. That's the one. That's the one. Passengers. Yeah. So if you go over to watch that movie, once those guys come into play, then we're gonna be fucked. But until that happens, bartending is a great gig because we're non-replaceable. Not yet. Not yet. But all you youngsters, keep an eye on that, because in 30, 40, call it maybe even less. I'll call it, say 30, 40, 20 years? Nah, not 20 years. 30, 40 years. Technology might get close to that. Bold claim. Definitely within 50. Which, there's not going to be anybody on here that's going to be worried about that. So, yeah. Let's see here. Drew Beans. What do you usually suggest if a woman asks what drink I should get, excluding drinks on the menu? That's the old, they don't know what they want. They want something special. So what do you recommend? Kind of a question, basically. And I turn it around on them. And I ask them, like, well, what do you normally drink? What do you like? What do you not like? And make them answer questions, and you can kind of narrow in on what you can make them. And then outside of that, like, have a couple of shooters that you have memorized, just 2 or 3, you know? They don't even have to be exciting. Most people don't know or don't care. It's like, ooh, it tastes good, or it's a pretty color, you know? Like, whatever. It could be something you make over and over they don't know. Even if it's something they do know, you can call it something random and they won't know, really. So, I'd back into it, Joe. Elderflower martini. Those are good. Sweet, though. That's a good one, though. You know? But yeah, she's like, yeah, I like vodka. Okay. Well, do you like fruity drinks, or with juice, or soda, or how do you usually have it? So, that's what I kind of do, is back into asking them what they normally drink. Storms and snow. Come up to Manitoba. Yeah. I know, Chris. We have a couple of, like, we buy the Mountain Collective Pass, which I don't know if any of you guys are skiers, but anyway. Up to, like, BC every year. I lived up in Calgary for a year, actually. I was in Alberta. So that was back in my younger pro shred day. Lived for a season at, like, Lake Louise. So, oh, I know, buddy. I love your mountains. I think British Columbia has the most underrated mountains in the world. And people know about them, but they still don't know how good they are. Okay, where are we at? Holy crap, we're already at 10 to 8, man. All right, we're going to give the 10-minute countdown, y'all. If you got any other lingering questions, start throwing them out. And super chat. What is this? I don't want to mess with that. I'll leave it for later. Super chat? Sorry. ADDing out on the different options below the below the chat board here. Let's see here. Yes. Chris, do you have a general rule of thumb when it comes to single straining versus double straining? Just depends on the cocktail. That's again like snazzy craft cocktail stuff and how strict you want to be with the drink. Need to be because of the establishment or the customer and how much time you're really wanting to put on a show or how cute he or she is that you want to impress. But depending on the strictness of the situation, like, is that what's called for the drink? Do you need to be super accurate in that? Then yeah, got to do it. If you work in a dive bar, probably not going to matter if you just do a single strain. So, Bob's jamming. Yeah, a little scruffy contact. Yeah, I can't really grow a full beard, but the the 3 or 4 day Don Johnson helps keep me from getting too worked when I'm up in the mountains. Just gives a little bit of protection. Adam Greenacre, what is your opinion on flare bartending? I know some bars do not like that. I think it's cool, but it's not something of interest to me personally, just because it's like any other skill that takes hand-eye coordination. It takes a lot of practice. So you got to have lots of free time to just juggle plastic bottles in your living room or your garage to get good at it. Like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Hundreds of hours. Thousands of hours if you want to start competing with those guys. It's cool, but like I said, I've never really been into it because I just don't really care. I have a million different other distractions in my life. I don't need that one. The other thing is most bars don't like it because it's a huge liability, right? Shocking to find that your manager doesn't want glass bottles flying around near customers or food or anything. So a lot of it is that if your bar is conducive or not, like if it's real tight back there, like my bar, it's a huge bar on the outside, but in the behind the bar, like where we actually work, is pretty tight. So it wouldn't really fly, right? Pun intended there. So I think it's cool. To each their own, But do I think it's a necessary skill or something that will help you get a job? I don't know. I couldn't say that. Or is it even something that you would ever even guaranteed to be able to do? Maybe, maybe not. So proceed with optimism. If you're just chomping at the bit to try it out, then go for it. Sean Williams, hello. Noel, I am lagging on the... Yeah, I did give him away. I gave you one, right? Didn't I, Noel? Didn't I say I gave you one? I thought I did. Because you were asking about him. Send me an email, Noel. support@bartendingblueprint.com. I know I have all that stuff that I still have not set up because I'm lagging school and then now I'm gone. So I still haven't even sent out the t-shirts. So all that stuff is coming. It's all coming. Honestly, I was about to send the t-shirts and then, yeah, I know, Joe. I know. I got to get all you guys. I'm sorry. I haven't done all those. I apologize. Tomorrow I'm going to be working, just working, not going to play in the mountains. So I will put that on my to-do list to take care of that stuff. At least get you guys set up on the memberships because that's not too hard to do. So, yeah, I know. I'm sorry, you guys. I lag. I don't do it on purpose or because I'm just sitting in front of the video games pulling bong hits. I promise I'm actually doing shit. Except for when I was escaping to the mountains to go ride. But that's so I don't lose my marbles. I'll go insane if I don't take days off. The only time I don't work is when I do that. Like I'm literally, unless I'm gone doing stuff, I work every single day. I think before I left on Saturday morning, I worked for, when was the last time I was out of town? December? I worked for, what is that, December? I think 2.5 months straight, every day. Didn't take a single day off. Maybe one Sunday I took an afternoon off. So I'm always doing something. So hang tight. You guys are, that's why I appreciate you guys being so loyal when I'm off busy with too many damn things. Too many irons in the fire, they say. But yes, I will get all the memberships and stuff set up for you guys tomorrow, and I will try to get those t-shirts sent out. I was gonna do them through my buddy's thing, but I just got my Amazon merch all set up, so I'm gonna try to do them through mine. Getting one. No, not typo. Yep. Cool. Right on. Sweet, guys. Well, thanks for showing up and hanging out through this awkward kind of alternate scene of a live stream. I know it's not the normal norm, but on the road and wanted to... I know I couldn't get here last week because I was covering for a guy again, but should be back to our normal spot, or my normal filming spot next week. And I will get all those memberships and t-shirts hopefully ordered out tomorrow. And when I do, I'll send you guys emails. So if you're not getting an email, then I haven't done it yet. So if you don't see it, then I just haven't got to it yet, but it's coming. Cool. Any other last minute questions, guys? I think we got them all. Let me get back up here on everyone. Make sure there wasn't any that I missed. Yeah. So make sure to follow me on all the social stuff. So I'm trying to do a better job about that. Shake's helping me. I don't know where he went. I thought he was going to be on this. But anyway, BartendingPro on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, obviously you already know about that one. Twitter too, right? So help me out. Even if you don't use them, which I don't do a very good job at them, you know, help me out. Just put another number on there for me, so at least I look a little more legitimate. Because I spent all my time on this one, so that's why this one's bigger than all of them. But anyway, check those out. Support on the website if you want, bartendingblueprint.com, if you want some more formal put together options for all of this stuff offered in a formal training package format, or you can support on patreon.com. And yeah, that's it, you guys. Love you guys. This is Jason, been making you a bartending pro. I'll see you on the next one. Later.